Hello trainers, it's going to be a video of the open qualifiers that I played during GoFest in Chicago. Winner would have earned a trip or a chance to potentially battle in the World's Tournament. Unfortunately, that wasn't me. I ended up going 5-1. Still a pretty good run, but definitely not what I hoped for. This is going to be my first round against Dumpster King here. Really like the matchup against his teams. Got two fire types with a Scizor. Not a big fan of Scizor in this tournament. Definitely not as tanky as Fortress. Fortress has a little bit more flexibility than Scizor does. Scizor just basically being a hard grass counter. So I am running two grass on this team, and the reason for that is I like Exeggutor as a lead. And if I don't feel like leading a grass, I'll put something else up front, usually like Quag or Umaril or sometimes Mantine. Then I'll put Venusaur in the back as a closer, just kind of switch things up, try to do what I feel is optimal. I really like running Exeggutor in the front because that Seed Bomb takes so long to charge. You need 4 confusions to get to that Seed Bomb the first time around, and then three confusions each for the next 2. So getting it out there as a lead gives you an opportunity to maybe get some piggybacks, cheat up on that energy a little bit, and obviously do some nice damage with that fast move and confusion. So anyway, we're going to get back to the match here. Quagsire doing a lot of work. Quagsire definitely king of this cup. Just so spammy, has so many good matchups. Even though it's water, resists the electric. There's just not an awful lot to hate about Quagsire. As long as you keep him away from those grass types, you're going to be in good shape. So we're going to be leading with the Exeggutor, going against the Quag, and he insta-switches, and we'll just insta-switch into our own Quag against his Charizard. Obviously going to like this matchup. Take this Blast Burn. Would have taken it, whatever it was. And we're just going to spam the Stone Edge, and I'm just going to keep shielding charge moves until I can take out this Charizard with a Stone Edge. Whether it be this one or the next one, we brought in the Quag, take out the Charizard, and so that's what we're going to do. So even if we have to burn both shields, I will go into the final 2 Pokemon. Oh, I elected not to burn the second shield there. That's fine. I think what will end up happening here is Umaril will just get a bunch of energy here, and we'll go into these final 2 Pokemon with a bunch of energy and a shield, and just feel like we're doing really good. So Ice Beam here, gonna do lots of nice neutral damage. Play Rough does a little bit more, but I just like being able to spam charge moves. It's 5 energy cheaper for Ice Beam, so we're just gonna roll with that. Here, getting off another Ice Beam. Gonna take out that Quag, and he's gonna bring in that Politoed, and we're just gonna keep continuing to spam the charge moves here. Switch back into Exeggutor. Surf is going to do absolutely nothing, and then we're just going to get off the Seed Bomb. Not yet. He's going to do one more Surf. Going to get off the Seed Bomb here, and that is going to be GG's. So going into round 2 against Harris Leader, we're 1-0 here. I forgot to record the first match. I definitely forgot to do that on probably 3 of these rounds, 3 or 4 of these rounds. Anyway, he's got an Exeggutor as well as his only grass type, so we'll probably just lead Exeggutor, hoping not to run into that Fortress or Charizard. And here we are in the mirror match, and here, because I gave him charge move priority, actually, I won the first round, so he has charge move priority. We get that piggyback there with the confusion, and he gets a Seed Bomb off. We're getting a Seed Bomb off, but we're actually 1 confusion ahead, so he burns a shield and has very little health left on that Exeggutor, so we're feeling pretty good about that. Even though we aren't going to have switch advantage, like he's going to be able to switch in whatever is going to be good against the Umaril, which is Lantern if he has it, but he doesn't have it because he would have brought it in if he did. And so this is a nice neutral matchup for us. We're ahead in shields, and so we're feeling pretty good. Going to continue on battling here, just spamming those Ice Beams on the Quag. Only takes 5 bubbles to get that Ice Beam, so that's what we're going to do. And swapped in there. Once I knew he had that Sludge Bomb, I was like, I got to get my Umaril out of there. and switch into whatever I had left. Thankfully, it was spot on time to have my Quagsire take that Sludge Bomb, which is going to do not very effective damage and no stab, so we're pretty happy about that. Going to continue to spam these Stone Edges. He's probably going to take out our Quag here. We'll bring back in a Umaril to finish off because we got lots of health, and we'll get off this Ice Beam. And that's going to be it for match 2 of round 2. Going into round 3, forgot to record the first match. I ended up winning that. So this is the second match of round 3. Into the mirror. Felt really stupid shielding that Acid Spray. I didn't know it. At that point, I don't think I knew that his Quag had Acid Spray. So that was just pretty unfortunate there. We did piggyback though. So we're going to get some extra energy. And he's just going to have the advantage though because he's going to be able to get to this next Stone Edge before we do. Shields are the same. So he definitely has the advantage here. He'll be able to switch in whatever is going to be good against Mantine. And it's just another mirror. Even though this is a mirror match, I am running Bubble on my Mantine just to hard counter Charizard a little bit better. It will Charizard and any other fire types, as opposed to just running Wing Attack and doing neutral damage or not very effective damage in case I somehow run into a Magcargo. So really like Bubble as opposed to Wing Attack, but it's not going to win you the mirror. And the idea behind that being, I just want to hard counter those fire types more. I don't have a water gun user, so bubbles are going to be the way that I get most of those fire types down with the fast moves, unless I'm using Quag for Stone Edge. So, yeah, that's why I like bubble. You can probably run either or, whatever sort of fits your style there. So, yeah, I ended up losing match 2 there. And I get a little tricky there because in this round, match 3 here, he didn't bring Venusaur in either match, probably because I had so many Venusaur counters. And I just got this wild hair, and I just decided that I'm just going to run 3 waters. I think it's going to work. He ends up bringing Venusaur this round, though, unfortunately. But we burn a shield there, and we have the shield advantage with our Azumarill. So we're going to be able to get off the 2 Ice Beams before he gets off 3 Frenzy Plants to take out our Azumarill. So we're just going to take care of that trade so we can get rid of his 1 Grass Pokemon and have an advantage going in for the rest of this match. So that's what ended up happening there. And Mantine versus Umaril, we're just going to continue to spam these Ice Beams. Feeling pretty good at this point. He's got Charizard in the back. So all is good in that regard. He doesn't know at this point that I have 3 waters. So he gets his Charizard back out against my Quag. Takes out my Quag. He's going to take out my Azumarill right after that, but not before I get off this Ice Beam, which is pretty clutch. And then he's like, well, hopefully you got the Venusaur in the backer. And I was like, no, dude, I ran 3 waters on you. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, I got that win. Ran 3 waters. That was great. Going into round 4 here. I'm already down 0-1. Again, forgot to record the first match. So this is match 2 of round 4. And not starting off with a great matchup. He switches. The thing about not getting great matchups is you have to switch right away. You don't want to let your opponents build up energy. You don't want to let them do that super effective damage to that fast move. And if you switch right away, yeah, he's obviously or she's obviously going to switch into something that is going to have advantage over whatever you just switched in. But then you'll be able to get that Pokemon back out and have the advantage again for that switch timer. And hopefully you'll be able to amend that a little bit going into the third Pokemon. If you end up not switching right away when you're in a bad matchup, it makes it even tougher to come back from a bad lead as opposed to just switching right away. So I'm a big fan of switching right away, and there's a couple of matches that people probably could have won against me where they had bad leads and they could have won if they switched right away, and we'll probably get into that a little bit later here. So yeah, this is match 2. It's going pretty good. Lots of spam here with the Quagsire, Stone Edge, getting work done. Feeling pretty good about ourselves. So Final match of round 4. And yeah, here's the bad lead. So insta switch into Venusaur, and this Venusaur that he had Razor Leaf, which really threw me for a loop. He ended up running two, well, not necessarily two grass counters, but he runs a grass and a bug, which I wasn't necessarily expecting. Makes sense though, because I don't have any fire Pokemon. So good strategy on his part. I didn't really have a good answer for the Razor Leaf Venusaur. Unfortunately, probably could have done some things different, like maybe lead the Exeggutor. I'm not sure if I led Exeggutor at all. Maybe I did in the first match, and that's why he got the advantage on me, which is why he won. And I ended up shying away from that Exeggutor lead, which I really really like a lot. I feel like that's a big part of strategy of my team of 6. So yeah, this is the final match of round 4, and it's definitely not going our way right now. We are way behind in this Razor Leaf Venusaur, and I also didn't use any of my shields, so I was pretty tired late in the day. Didn't play very well. On to round 5. Round 5 going to be against Danben here. Got a nice lead there with the Quag into the Raichu. He, of course, is going to want to get out of that pretty quick, and we're going to take this nice neutral matchup against Fortress. Would really like to get rid of that Fortress, because I'm definitely running Venusaur in the back. If I didn't lead Exeggutor, generally I like to run Venusaur in the back. Just have that nice hard water counter. So we're going to need to get rid of that Fortress with our Umaril, which we do. Super nice. Up a shield. Well, not necessarily up a shield, but still have the switch advantage. Really good. And so we're just going to be able to use our Venusaur pretty much the rest of the way, because he has Raichu and Quagsire left. Unfortunately, I forgot to record match 1, and this is match 2. So we're going to 2-0 Danben for round 5. Going to be 4-1 going into round 6. GG's there. Moving on to round 6, Solar of Sinnoh. I think he was the highest ranked player coming into the Open, at least the Open that I participated in. So I was a little bit nervous about playing him, but looking at his team, he has 1 grass Pokemon, and I'm not even sure you can count Execute as a grass Pokemon, because the attack on it is so little that there's not really much to worry about unless you're a poison type and going to be taking that super effective damage from that confusion. And we've only got Venusaur, so we're not going to really worry about that much. So I don't think that he's going to use it against us. And so, yeah. With that being said, we're going to lead off with Mantine against his Mantine. Like I told you guys before, my Mantine's running Bubble, so not super great for us, but we're just going to continue into it. I think I'm going to make a mistake here by not getting off that Aerial Ace, wasting all that energy. Even though, it would have really been nice to get that second Aerial Ace off, put a lot of pressure on him, make him burn those shields. But we continue on. We're going to try and still win this one. It's going to be tough, though, to come back from those kind of mistakes where we just waste a fat ton of energy. So, I'm going to try and spam off these Stone Edges against Mantine. Take it out, finally. And battling against Lantern. Interesting that he brought the Lantern against the Quag. I think that whatever is behind the Lantern must not be very good against the Quag. Yeah, it's Fortress, so I guess that sort of makes sense. Although I kind of would have done the Fortress to do that neutral damage against the Quag, because my Quag was already super low health. But he saved the Fortress for the grass matchup, so that turned out to be good for him, because I am not going to get through this Lawnmower even though I have a shield. Bug Bite, the Bug Steel type, too much to deal with. Frenzy Plant doing no damage. Vine Whip doing no damage, and so we lose match 1, round 6. So, need to make some adjustments. We'll see what kind of adjustments I make here. Another not so great lead for us, so we're going to switch out right away. You have to switch out right away on these bad leads if you want to give yourself a chance to win, because obviously he's going to switch in, or she is going to switch into something that is going to be just as good against whatever you led with. And you're able to get the advantage back once they take out the Pokemon you switched into, you'll be able to switch into something that's good against their Pokemon, and it sort of evens itself out. But if you stay in that bad matchup, you're just giving your opponent a bigger and bigger advantage, and you're giving yourself a tougher hill to climb. So you got to just insta switch out of those bad matchups, force them to switch, and hopefully you can reconcile with your second and third Pokemon, whatever you got in the back, to try and come back. So that's what we're going to have to do here. Pretty happy with this matchup. Azumarill, Fortress. You guys kind of know the drill by now. I don't mind this matchup one bit. Just going to continue to spam those ice beams. We do a lot of damage to Fortress before going down. Going to bring in the Quag. I expect to switch here, but he ended up not switching. Just kind of there it is. There's the switch after he does the move. And so we're going to try and do as much damage as we can. We're only going to get off one Frenzy Plant before the Mantine takes us out, but we do have a Stone Edge banked on our Quag, so it's going to be fine. So we're bringing back in our Quag, try and fire off the Stone Edge. Get a little bit of lag here, which is okay. He was lagging too, and I have Charge Move priority, so there's not really any advantage gained by me because I was going to get off my Charge Move first anyway, even if he did have enough energy to get off the Aerial Ace, and we're able to get to the next Stone Edge to take out Fortress, and that's going to be end of match 2, round 6. So, final match for us here in the Open. Hopefully we don't lead bad again, but we'll see how it goes. Going to Umaril, just because Umaril has so many nice matchups against this team, other than probably Lantern. But Lantern's kind of a risky lead against my team because I do have the 2 grass and I have Quagsire. So I probably should have done this a lot sooner. We get a nice matchup here. He's going to be neutral damage with the Aerial Ace, but Ice Beam does a little bit more damage, and we do have a little bit more energy gain. We were able to piggyback there, which is really nice. A little bit more energy gain on the Azumarill. He switches out. We're trying to switch. We accidentally send the play rough there, which was kind of unfortunate. But we're still, trying to hammer away, not giving up. We're going to shield this Earthquake and just spam Stone Edge. Overcharge the Stone Edge a little bit in case he doesn't shield, and we'll have some extra energy going into the next Pokemon. But he does, and we're just going to go straight into that next Stone Edge. So he lets it go. We'll see what he brings in there. Quagsire is going to do pretty good against everybody on his team, including Lantern, most certainly Lantern. He's going to be way behind on that energy gain. So we're going to switch, use our Azumarill as a free shield because he has to take it out because Play Rough's going to do a lot of damage if I get to it, and bring in our Venusaur. He brings in the Mantine kind of as a free shield, I guess, because we're just going to one-shot that Mantine at that health, and we'll shield whatever this charge move is from Lantern and get off another Frenzy Plant to sweep with Venusaur. Match 3, round 6, finishing the tournament 5-1. Pretty good showing there for the Open. Obviously would have liked to win, but you can't win them all. So, got a lot of improvement to do, and we'll have another video out here soon in a few days. Thanks, guys.